What am I watching?
Now, does anybody in this room know how to twerk? It's all in. And then you just move your bum up and down like that, and that's twerking.
Yeah. What up, YouTube? We back with another video. Today we gonna be reacting to Abba and Preach. If you don't celebrate Pride, leave our country. These teachers is out of their minds. Teachers all over the country doing all type of wild shit, supporting this Pride shit. So many female teachers teaching these young boys and taking advantage of these 13, 14, 15-year-old boys, having kids by them, all type of stuff. But let's see what they got to say.
So, all across Canada right now, we're seeing a bunch of LGBTQ protests in regards to Pride Month being involved in schools. The government has come down saying it may be illegal not to celebrate Pride Month.
Illegal not to
Basically saying it goes against the human rights charter of said province to not celebrate Pride Month at school. So, parents don't want their kids to be indoctrinated. LGBTQ folks are, hey, we're not doing that. It helps with
making it illegal to not celebrate is crazy. Like, how you gonna get in trouble for not celebrating something that has nothing to do with you? That's like making it illegal for white people to not celebrate Black History Month. Like, are you crazy? That's like making it illegal for white people to not celebrate Juneteenth or MLK Day or some shit like that. This is crazy. This is nonsense. What?
awareness and acceptance. Here's a teacher telling Muslim students that skipping LGBTQ events is not okay.
That's
Well, I'm
manipulation.
telling you are out to lunch. If you think it's acceptable to not show up because you think if there's some pride activities going on at school, right? Oh, that's fine. You know, because I'm going to show my opinion by hanging out at the mall. But meanwhile, all of those kids who are, you know, involved in, say, the Gay Street Alliance or whatever, I don't even know if we have that anymore in our school, they're here when we did Ramadan for Lion Time, and they're showing respect in the class for your religion, right, for your beliefs. It goes two ways. If you want to be respected for who you are, if you don't want to suffer prejudice for your religion, your color of skin, your whatever, then you got to give it back to people who are different from you. That's how it works. It's an exchange.
Manipulation.
And it isn't like that in all countries. As I told you, in Uganda, literally, if they think you're gay, they will execute you. If you believe that kind of thing, then you don't belong here. Because that is not what Canada believes. We believe in freedom.
So if you don't participate in Pride events, you do not belong in Canada. Interesting. Listen, I don't know what Ramadan is like today, but when I was growing up, you did it. If you wanted to, you did it. And nobody cared. And honestly, I didn't care if the school got involved. Why would I give a fuck? I'm fasting. I don't need you guys to eat sambusas with me. We're not going to be there when I break my fast. All right, you guys call it samosas, whatever the fuck you call it.
Yo, sambusas is fire.
Well, in Ethiopia, that's what we call it.
I want to be there when y'all motherfuckers eat it.
That shit is delicious. But my whole point is, like, Muslims have never been clamoring for other people to observe their religious experiences. They don't care. Just don't fuck with our shit. And I think most people agree. You want to do this LGBTQ stuff, nobody cares. They just say, just don't fuck with our shit. We won't fuck with yours.
Introducing the Grip 6 belt. The only belt on the market with a no gut pinch guarantee. The Grip 6.
Bro, it's like all the LGBTQ people and trans and all the different types of people, it's always something to where if their activity or their inclusion isn't put to the forefront as a top priority, it's like they try to enter some type of loophole to where if you disagree or you don't want to partake in the activities or support the ideologies, that they'll turn around and make it look negatively on you. It's weird. I don't get it.
But this whole thing about like you don't belong here if you're not willing to participate in pride events is nonsensical. Okay? If you want as an adult to encourage people to go to pride events, there's nothing wrong with that. But saying people don't belong here because they don't want to go to your pride parade is stupid. And this is the bit like I'm for people having discussions about LGBTQ rights in schools during Pride Month. I don't think it's a problem. Okay, I don't care that people want to say like, you know, the history of gay people in Canada. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you want to run like drag queen shows or running stuff like drag hour for kids or whatever,
crazy
like, it's
shit.
okay with parents saying like, I don't want that for my kids. The same way, I don't think it's anything wrong with not being accepting of like a Muslim sheikh coming to your school to talk to the kids or a pastor coming to. It's okay. You don't have to be for all of that stuff. But we've now made it where if you're not 100% with us, you're 100% against us. But why does it have to involve me? Why does my participation have to be part of this process? That is a question that I think a lot of people are asking. And I think there's actually a lot of school programs that are running Pride Month and their events very sensibly, okay? I really believe that. In that they're not, you know, overindulging. They're just saying, hey, we got this flag up here, and beyond that, like, we're chilling, okay? And maybe we talk about gay people and what they've experienced, which is, I don't think is bad. But then you have other stuff that I'm just like, what the fuck am I even looking at? Like this.
So there's my 1, 2, 3. Everybody else like say it on 3, okay? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Bruh.
What am I watching?
Now, does anybody in this room know how to twerk? It's all in. And then you just move your bum up and down like that, and that's twerking.
What do you think about LGBTQ stuff being involved in pride in schools?
Like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with like talking about what gay people may have gone through over past generations and whatnot, but stuff like that talent show and the drag shows in the elementary schools and whatnot, like that's totally inappropriate and uncalled for and unnecessary. There's no point in doing those things because like in terms of entertainment, like especially of that sort, you know, dealing with more I'd say sexually driven activities like those shows and something like the lady was doing on that talent show or whatever that shit was is like totally inappropriate. Like there's no place for that in a school, you feel me? Like save that for some sort of adult event that can take place somewhere else for adults who want to partake in that. Like don't display that in front of these children's face and in front of their eyes for the sake of trying to expose them to something that they don't need to be exposed to. It's literally pointless.
You think it's good, bad, in
It depends
between?
on the level of when it's done.
Okay.
Sometimes, yeah, people are trying to do too much.
And another thing, a lot of these teachers be weirdos. What am I looking at, bro? And these kids are little kids. This is obviously an elementary school. These teachers are weird, bro. Bruh.
Like if it's like Black History Month, let's just put the example of Black History Month because that's what you motherfuckers are gonna go to first. If you talk about history, the history of black people, I understand that. But if I would walk in one day and my kids are in school and I pick them up and everybody has a Black
slave
Lives
outfit
Matter
or some
shirt,
shit.
and they're in the
Pan-African flag.
Pan-African flag.
Yeah.
Little kids with an afro.
I actually
with
wanna
glasses.
see that.
Hold on, I don't want to see that. One, other people are talking to me like white kids come to me like, "Good morning, sir."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I apologize for what we've done to you, Mister.
That would be too much. And I'd be like, I don't want none of this shit.
That's a fact. The whole
'Cause
LGBT
that's-
movement and all this pride stuff, like a lot of this stuff at this point has just gone too far. Like even at its inception, like I live in Atlanta. I remember around like 2013, 14, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere around that time, like, and they would have like the Pride weekend and you'd just see, I don't want to talk about nobody, you feel me? But you'll see these, I guess you could say trans women or like super duper feminine gay men that dress in like all this weird stuff. But basically, I was like a lot younger around that time, and even though I was younger, I was like a teenager. I was an older kid, like, and not that I don't know. I didn't want to see all that. Long story short, I didn't want to see all that, and that shit would like make me uncomfortable. And like that was like around the time where the pride stuff and events like that just starting to be popular, I guess. But at this point, we're not even like 10 years later, and they're doing stuff like this in elementary schools. Imagine what it's going to be like another 10 years from now. I've seen a statistic somewhere that says each generation, the number of gay people double. In each generation, essentially the amount of gay people that were in the previous generation, there will be double that amount in the next generation to come. And I don't know if it's because of propaganda, if these ideas are being pushed onto people, you know what I'm saying? If children are being manipulated into thinking that these things are normal, which they are not. I don't know. It could be a variety of different factors, but long story short, like at this point, this stuff is going really far, and there needs to be like some type of guidelines and stipulations as to what aspects of this group should be taught and is, you know what I'm saying, suitable to be taught in schools, and just do away with all that extra entertainment, all the over sexualized aspects of it, all of the cross dressing, and just basically everything that's like inappropriate and unnecessary for school because it's a waste of time. And it's getting to the point where teachers are going to start taking their kids out of school, start homeschooling their kids, and I'm pretty sure the schooling system doesn't want that to happen. That was a little long-winded. Let's get back to the video.
Much.
I kind of want to see Hotep reading this.
Be like,
Jesus
"You do
was
not."
black, and so was your ancestors. Know your history, because we are all one people coming from Africa. Take it back to the motherland, because we are standing on an empire of sand. The West is a lie. Girl, I don't want you to die. My white people used to be black people, used to be one people. Poems rhyme like what? Hoems, because we have cultivated a country of hoes. I do not want you to be hoed out by your government to the people of another government as we engage in war, soldiers or whores. That's pretty fire. Hotep, no tip.
There was some good
We got
stuff,
Umar
but,
Johnson in the building,
no.
giving you the Johnson of knowledge.
It's like if my daughter comes back home, all right, and there's a kid, she's chilling with a kid, a white kid,
White?
and the white kid is
White
like,
is not right.
oh yeah, that's great, and she
This
starts
man's
clapping
still
like
going.
that. I'll be like, your kid, your friend is a weirdo. There's why is this? What's going on? What's this?
Claps are oppressive. Snaps are kindness. They're ways to undo white supremacy through low sound vibrations, crystals, African mythology. You just aren't in touch with the motherland, brother. And so right now you are using the oppressor's language. It's okay, it's not your fault. You've been indoctrinated, much like AI is indoctrinating the youth. You are having an opportunity to be indoctrinated by white supremacy through the indoctrination that we have on television, through your TV set, your movie set, your phone set, through your television, your computer, your tablets. Every day you are being programmed, my brother. Chat GPT is the new CIA.
Are you done?
Dr. Abba Zaba Zulu King III. Never forget. Politics over Punani. Consciousness over Coochie. Politics over Punani, consciousness over Coochie. The black cause will not be televised.
Bruh.
Keep it in your head. The black cause will not what? Be televised. Black Queens forever, Snow Bunnies never.
For sure.
Black Queens forever, Snow Bunnies never. Okay, back to Pride Month.
This
Wait,
man
no,
is hilarious.
heterosexual couples only. Like I was saying, Pride Month is the way that they will eliminate the black man by making our children gay. What they are doing is ensuring the fact that none of us reproduce to this LGBTQIA plus indoctrination. Carry on.
All right. All this to say, when they're doing too much, like Abba just did, it's weird. It's just fucking weird. Shut the fuck up, nigga. No, but for real. No, when they do too much, it's just, yeah, it's too much. It's weird. No matter what it is. I think on both sides, people need to not go to extremes and stuff like that, but that will never happen. You know, people are the way they are, and it's a utopia to think that people are not gonna go on the streets. But Jesus fucking Christ! I understand both parties, both sides. I understand both sides when they say, yeah, there's nothing inherently bad into drag hours and stuff like that, where it's a drag person, a drag queen, a drag person doing stories and stuff like that. I don't have a problem with that. It's the extremes and the debordement where it could go that I have a problem with. And at the same time, on the other side, the people that are against that are gonna go to some extreme as well. You know what I mean? It's both. There's extreme in both sides. You know what I mean? I could understand a show where there's drag queens. The nudity doesn't belong in a school.
I can't even understand the drag queens, like, cause what's the purpose? Like, literally, what is the purpose? What makes you think that children want to see that? What makes you think, what gives you the impression that children even know about stuff like that to even want to see it in the first place? Like, it makes no sense.
Like, in the same way, whenever you see twerking to kids and this and that and whatever, whatnot, which exists and which happened, that thing that you just showed us happened, I want to see my little girl going to school and be like, coming back from school and be like, yes, I was today, honey. Oh yeah, it was a cool day. I had a pole dance class today. Even if it's a pole dance class and it's done for fitness, you cannot remove the sex work part out of that.
Facts.
You
That's
cannot.
disturbing.
It is,
It
but
is.
I mean,
Imagine kids doing pole
That's
dancing.
some
is
more
weird to
shit
me.
that shouldn't be in school.
It
That's
is weird. But
pole dancing. Okay, I understand is a sport or some type of workout, physical activity. That is for adult women. That is for adults. Still, anytime there's anything with any type of sexual innuendo attached to it, it is for adults. Children should not be seeing any type of stripper type entertainment. No type of sex work entertainment. None of that. No drag queen model walking shows. All that bullshit. I don't know. All these things are inappropriate for children. Bottom line. That's all I got to say for this video. Bottom line, all this shit is inappropriate for children. If you want to teach them about things that gay people may have gone through over the years in some type of history lesson, okay. But for Pride Month to be this prevalent at this point in time, you know what I'm saying, especially in regards to children, is demonic.
I'll disagree with you on this point. I side with the parents because I think it's a parent's job to be overprotective of their children. That's what parents do.
I side with the parents.
Right? Like, you can't expect a parent to be like, just trust them.
By default, parents are in the right in any circumstance when it comes to schooling in their children. I say 9 times out of 10, the parent's gonna be right.
What are you against from what I said?
So yeah, like you say you understand both sides, but I'm saying the one that makes the most sense is the parent side
Sure.
because
No,
parents
we-
are thinking about their kids' safety and their well-being.
We agree.
It's not like they're imagining aliens coming down from the sky. They're imagining stuff that they've actually seen other schools do. And here's the big problem: the reason why the other side, the drag side, loses a lot of its steam
Yeah.
is because when crazy shit happens, instead of like saying it's not okay, they condone it. They're like, well, no,
Exactly.
you guys don't understand this and that. I'm like, yo, you make all of yourselves look crazy when you are tacitly supporting the fact that like you got kids doing drag stuff or you got kids doing this, and you might think that's okay, but I side with most parents who polled on this matter say they don't think it's acceptable.
But the following comes closest to your opinion on drag shows. Drag shows, they should be restricted to people 18 or older. That's what I think. It's for adults. Like, what children want to see that? They should be allowed for everyone. Who said? 25% of people said that? It's fucking weird. I don't think it should be banned. I'm more so on it should be restricted for people who are 18. Because, I mean, I'll reiterate again, it's not for children. It's inappropriate.
I don't think it's.
And that's not just right-leaning parents, that's also left-leaning parents who don't think some of this stuff is acceptable.
I don't think it's a problem that parents take out their kids from these activities. I don't say that's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't see where the problem is there.
That happened too in
what?
Ontario.
Which is fine.
Well, during the Pride thing, I think it was like 40 or 60% of the kids didn't go to school those days.
Which is fine, and I don't think that's a problem. Where I have a problem is with the débordement and then
My
kids
kid would be
stepping
out
on
of school
flags
the
and stuff
whole
like
month.
that. That's kind of weird. But no, I don't have a problem with kids not going to certain schools, certain events. That's fine. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, my school was Catholic. I was Protestant. So whenever they had Bible study at school, I was not going. My parents said, when that class is happening, you're not going. It was not a disrespect to the Catholics. It was not a disrespect to the school. Me, that was Protestant. Another friend that I had that was Jehovah's Witness.
Don't lie.
Couple
that
of
shit was
Muslim.
fire, right? Whenever Bible study comes around, you get to stay home.
Yeah, because no matter where you're from, Bible study is.
But no, not because of that. You get a day off, nigga, chilling.
No, I was not home.
What were
I
you-
was not home. I was in another class that was not having Bible study.
Oh,
I
okay.
was doing
That's
other shit.
whack. That's whack.
Right. No, it's not. No.
Because I'm not
no.
gonna lie, if
No.
I know this Pride stuff's happening, you know the first thing I'm doing is I'm snitching to my Muslim parents. You wanna know why? Because we get to stay home, nigga, and I love staying
Me?
home. Hey,
I was in
hey,
another.
I'll be playing
I
the
was in
PlayStation.
another class. I was in another class, and you get to read that book.
Yeah.
And while reading that book, bruv, it was a break for me from the rest of the school, and because I needed it, I was snoozing. You understand what I'm saying? Let me take a nappy nap and not bother you. Just if I snore, but that I'll be in the quarter.
That's fire.
But all that to say,
I
it
be
was
like,
not.
I be telling my parents, bro, I think they bring in a gay pastor to the school. They want to convert me to Islam. No, they want to convert me to Christianity and to homosexuality, bro. Let me stay home. I don't want to be gay, Mom. I don't want to be Christian. I'm going to be like, you stay home for the whole week. I'm like, thank you, Mom. I'm going to be a good Muslim friend. I'll be playing video games. I'll be making shit up.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll be bringing flyers. I'll be playing both sides. This is what I be doing. I'll be going to school. I'll be like, yo, I think we need to organize more LGBTQ events. And I'll be going home like, Mom, can you believe what they trying to turn me gay, nigga? They want me to suck, bro. One of the teachers said, lick this popsicle. I ain't going back. I be playing both sides.
Nah.
If you guys ever had a
Lick
snow
that
day, if you don't know what
popsicle is
snow day is,
crazy.
it's when it snows so hard, everybody got to stay home. Parents get mad because they're like, fuck, we don't have a babysitter. The school's supposed to do that. But the kids be happy as fuck because you get to stay home and chill out on a Wednesday. Don't even lie. You remember the snow days?
Yeah, we didn't have much. We didn't have much.
we-
Not as much as they have now.
Yeah.
Every day is a fucking snow day. Anyways, all that to say,
My bad.
It was not a disrespect to nobody.
Yeah,
My parents pulling me out of those classes was not a disrespect to nobody. That was not just their fate. So carry on. You see what happened? Now I hate all churches. Just kidding.
I want to ask you.
Just kidding.
But messages like this were quickly drowned out by the noise of a rowdy crowd. Students tearing through Pride posters and dancing on Pride flags.
You said you had a problem with kids stomping on the flag.
Yeah,
Why?
because
See what I'm saying? It's inappropriate
that's
for
where we go into
children, bro.
disrespectful. You know what I mean? Where
Not
you
that
don't
they
go
don't
into a
know
certain activity, it's just like I'm not gonna
Dennis
partake
is,
for
but
this
if you
and that.
try to
You're not
force
necessarily
things on
disrespecting the
people
person.
who-
You're not necessarily
if you're
disrespecting
trying
the person.
to if you're trying to force something on to people who essentially don't agree with the idea, not that they think that something's wrong with it, not that they show some disdain for the existence of it, I don't think that it's fair for you to try and force it on them, because at that point they have to retaliate and defend their own ideas at that point, and now you're essentially inciting a war that's unnecessary in the first place. If you keep forcing people to try and accept these ideas that they've already accepted for the most part, you're just like overcompensating at this point. Like, you're gonna face some sort of like retaliation or pushback from the other side, especially the people who definitely disagree with it and don't want any parts of it at all. You feel me? Like, you're poking a bear at that point, and I believe that it could backfire on that community. You know what I mean? I'm not sure to what extent or how serious it may be, but you're gonna get a lot of pushback from people who don't agree with this stuff and don't like it.
Whatever, but stomping on a flag, just what stomping on a flag means.
Right.
Just knowing that a flag is not even supposed to touch the ground. You putting it on the ground. The flag is not supposed to go on the ground. Now you put it on the ground and you stomp it.
Let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Why, if a kid wants to stomp on a flag, why can't they?
I don't want them to stomp on the flag because that it shows violence. It shows it's what it means to stomp on a flag, right? It's the violence with stomping on the flag. What that means.
It means that you're disrespecting the whole thing.
Yeah, you're disrespecting. You're dirtying the flag. You're disrespecting it. It's not. It's okay to say that you don't involve or you don't believe in that or you don't want none of that to happen with you. But stomping on a flag, that's a line that I wouldn't cross. It's highly disrespectful. Highly disrespectful.
I think when you make that kind of stuff mandatory and you force it on people, their reaction is to stomp on it. I don't think they would ever stomp on it if they weren't making this stuff mandatory and forcing it on people. They're not stomping on the flag to say fuck LGBTQ people. They're saying we don't want this forced on us. It's a different thing.
I can understand that. I understand what you're saying and why it's happening. I'm still not for it happening.
Yeah. Well, listen.
You could just
they push kids to wear LGBTQ flags. They make them wear it on their heads. They make them put on the colors. They make them do all kinds of weird stuff.
That
and
sounds
these
like
are kids.
1920 propaganda. But keep on going.
What?
What they doing?
Okay. They're pushing the kids to do that, right? And look, I think it's kind of weird because I don't even think kids really have the mental capacity to really understand all the political implications of like donning these flags and stuff like that. But they push the kids to do it. So for me, if other kids are stomping on it, I really don't care. We're already pushing kids to like adopt these political symbols, whether they really understand it or not. And then after they do that, then they're saying, well, you can't do it this way. For me, you want to stomp on it, you want to wear it. If one's okay, then all of them are okay. I don't think it's a good thing. What I'm trying to say is we're already pushing our kids into that political arena. And as far as them stomping on it, I really believe that this is only because it's being mandatory and not because they actually have a deep issue with LGBTQ people. Because I don't think I've seen this kind of stuff generally outside of protests in regards to like mandatory rights.
Sure.
So that's why I stand on the stomping on the flag. Anyways, I think all in all, the culture war stuff has really reached new heights. I think there's a lot of fear surrounding it, some of it a bit irrational, but I also understand because the side with whom this fear is geared towards hasn't done a good side from distancing itself from extremism, and then they get lumped in with it, right? So when you see, Biden talking about, well, we give puberty blockers to minors and we should make all this stuff accessible to kids, it's like, yeah, a lot of parents who are against this kind of shit are going to be like, I don't know if I fuck with that. And you have the highest forms of government endorsing this stuff. And why am I talking about American politics on a Canadian issue? It's because you realize when it comes to a media level, Canadian parents are seeing videos from America, they're seeing videos from the UK, they're seeing videos from Canada. None of this stuff is borders anymore. No. None of this, even though the laws might be different in different places, the fear and the cultural involvement feels the same in all of these different places, oddly enough. So, yeah. Cultural war stuff is real. You're seeing protests and fights breaking out in America, in Canada, even in the UK. And I don't think this stuff is going to go down. I think we're just seeing a bit of it now, and it's only going to go higher from here. With this next election cycle, I'm expecting a lot more. Anything else?
No.
All right, let us know what you guys think in the comments.
At the end of the day, like I said, a lot of the extreme like showcasings and entertainment factors from the LGBT community pertaining to what they want to display in school on the extreme end, with a lot of the sex work stuff and drag show stuff and the twerking thing, all that extra weird shit is totally inappropriate, totally uncalled for any type of school setting, especially for these elementary and middle school kids, especially kids who haven't even hit puberty yet. I wouldn't recommend it for high schools either, but like I said, if you want to maybe have a segment in a history class where you briefly speak on things that gay people have went through in the past and whatnot. That's one thing, but all the showmanship and entertainment from the Pride Month is very extreme, and the people who aren't as extreme and maybe have more sensible ideas on how to go about teaching and showcasing certain things about the pride community that are more sensible. They don't do a good job of distancing themselves from the very extreme people who do all the weird stuff in front of the kids. But with all that said, you guys, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Peace.